Hi, it's Jen back with a very Merry Christmas sew along. We are moving right along. Two things this time. We're going to be doing this row. I don't know if that's a garland, maybe a ribbon, and our trees. A lot of fun stuff happening. We're going to dive right into it again. Now we're starting to pull some of the things we've already learned. We talked about those star singles that I love so much, to be able to make these half square triangles. They're so tiny. Those are the 1 inch. You can either go ahead and make those the traditional way, or you'll be using the 1 inch star single paper. Of course, you're using the measurements in your pattern. If you decide you want to upsize that, you would be cutting your fabrics to 2 inches each, and then you will square that up to 1.5 and finish at 1 inch going into that finished block right there. We definitely made ours with the star singles, and I have those ready to go. They're right here. I trimmed off the little dog ears. So basically the garland or ribbon or whatever we're calling this cute little block here, here is it finished. And I'll just show you that back side with a note. Remember how here we found that by pressing half of our seams to the white, half of our seams to the green, we got that beautiful interlocking seam right in that saddle. Always what we're looking for, the block laid nice and flat. Same idea here, because these are sewn side by side. For your blocks that have the holly, we're always going to press toward the red on this, okay? Notice we pressed toward the red for the half square triangles, and when we had our rectangle here and we added that little fabric to the corner, we drew our line. We're so used to pressing to the outside, but in the one with the holly, let's press toward the red, and for those that have the polka dot, we're going to press toward the white. What that's going to do for us, you can see this right here as they're side by side, and you can imagine, just pretend the top is sewn onto that. That's going to give us interlocking seams right there. That's again that goal. Probably not something you're going to find in the pattern, but that's why you're tuning in, right? For tips and techniques that are in addition to Stacy's really good instructions. So very straightforward, as I said. Fabric in the corner, draw the line or use the diagonal seam tape, corner to corner, press to the outside for the polka dot, toward the red for the holly. Same on this side. Half square triangles are on the opposite side of our white. Sewing a 1/4 inch seam allowance, of course, same over here, and it looks like we pressed toward the white. I just wanted to show you the back of that. And then of course, you'll be sewing, getting that out of the way here, and sewing all that together as one unit, and we pressed toward the red. All these seams going on, definitely want to be pressing toward the red. So that's all there is to that, and as you can see, sewing groups together, just a pointer, don't just start adding one on. Sew in groups of 2, and then sew them together. It helps reduce the bowing that happens. For our Christmas tree, I love a Christmas tree. Up in North Idaho every year, we go cut down a tree, and I love it. I love the tradition of it. And yes, it's cold, and yes, it's messy, but yes, my house smells like a fresh Christmas tree because I have one in there. I love it. So looking at our Christmas tree block, you can see there's basically 3 tiers and then the stem. Just a reminder, starting off at the very top of our tree, that is a flying geese unit right there, just like we did in the very beginning of our sew along. 1 big fabric in the back, 4 smaller squares. So either side of that line, we've done that and cut apart. Let's press away. Oh, I missed that one. Probably time to get a fresh blade in my rotor cutter. That's your first clue, right? You're not making clean cuts anymore. Fabric's starting to fray. Let me just trim that with my scissors. And then usually I still delay, right? Just need to get myself in gear, grab myself my fresh blades, and change that out. In fact, if I had them with me, I would do that with you right now. I love the quick change feature on this blade. In fact, let me just show it to you. Impromptu. That's it. Blade pops out. I love that. And the other thing that I've learned as a safety feature, because you never want to just throw the used blades in the trash. Once they pop out, I use a Sharpie and I squiggle on it or write used, and I put that in the bottom of the case that the extra rotary blades come in. That way no one's getting cut taking the trash out. So just an idea. All right, once you've cut that diagonal, press to the outside. We know that you'd be doing that with both of those. And with your other two squares, again, you've drawn the line. We'll place that here. I'm going to go sew that. I love showing off that flying geese tool. It's been a few weeks since you've seen that. I just want to remind you of just what a cool tool that is and how it helps us be accurate. And also a 1/4 inch on either side of that line. And let's cut that apart. And again, press away. I believe that's another 2x4. When we were doing our star block, that was a 2x4. I can see that is that same measurement. Let's grab our Creative Grid tool. I remember that was letter D, but I'm going to double check. 2x4, yes. So I'm going to come over to my D there. And remember that when we line that up, we get 2 cuts out of that initial lineup. And I'm on trim 1. So we'll go 1, rotate our mat so we do not have to lift up our fabric. Continue with 1 more clockwise rotation. Slide down to trim 2. We're looking for D, and we'll go right in that saddle. We have vertical alignment, horizontal alignment, and we have that nice V to confirm we're in the right location. And now we have a beautiful top of our Christmas tree. You thought that was a flying geese block. Well, it's the top of a Christmas tree now. Once you have that done, we of course have our squares. Let me just bring this down so you can see that a little bit better, that you'll be sewing on either side of that. Very, very straightforward, and pressing, of course, to our white. Here on our next row, we placed a square in the corner. It's starting to sound familiar, isn't it? You're like, I've been here, I've done all this. You're going to have your rectangle. Your fabric will be placed here with the drawn line. You can use the diagonal seam tape or draw the line. I would draw the line. So exactly on that, press to the outside. You're happy, trim it away. That's your next layer. But notice that we now need to add some rectangles to the end. Again, we'll sew this here, 1/4 inch. You're pressing to the white. You've got your second layer. Down here on this bottom tier, now, once again, squares in the corner, you've drawn the line, sew on the line, press to the outside and trim. You have the bottom of your Christmas tree. And then this row, of course, here, a square, 2 rectangles, and you're going to be pressing those toward the tree trunk. So let's just look at the back of our block, and we can kind of just see how we sewed those rows together, pressing the seams open, and the final row we pressed down. So very, very straightforward on the assembly of the Christmas tree. Again, we've got our kind of sashing that we've added there that you could finagle if you need to make those sections work out to be the measurement they need to be. And you can see we've got an interruption here. We have a house right in the middle. You can only go this far with this section, and then of course on the other side. So we are clicking right along. I will see you next week as we continue our sew along for the Very Merry Christmas quilt.